Hey yo, what's up people? What's up people? What's up people? We're back with another one. And on this one again, we're gonna be checking Dr. Umar and his thoughts on the Diddy case. If you're new to the channel, my name is Atman. Welcome to my channel. I have been covering the Diddy case, and this is another extension on that, and I just want to give my opinion on what Dr. Umar has to say. And on this one, I did check it first, so it's not entirely a reaction, but rather just me discussing and giving my opinion on it. So yeah, please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to like, leave a comment. Yeah, let's jump right into it, fam. Let's get it.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, that's a good way to look at it. That's a good point, man. But how you feel about Diddy bail being denied and him getting put on suicide watch?
First of all, the no bail, completely racist. Look at all of the white celebrities charged with worse who got their bail. Vince McMahon didn't even get arrested. Donald Trump didn't even get arrested. If I'm not mistaken, Harvey Weinstein made bail. Harvey Weinstein had way more victims than Sean Combs. He made bail. How can Sean Combs be a flight risk, Art, when everybody on the planet Earth knows his name and knows his face? He has children that I'm sure he want to see again. Okay, everybody knows what he looks like. How in the hell can Sean Combs be a flight risk? The reason Puff was not given bail is this whole this whole prosecution is more about humiliating him than it is about finding him guilty of any crimes. Don't get me wrong. They plan to find him guilty of crimes because they're going to trump the evidence, but they have to humiliate him. They say they're not letting him out because we don't want him to be able to badger or coerce witnesses to drop out, pay him off. But he can do that through a third party.
Okay, that's a good point right there. Because I'm one of the people that was saying, well, based on the information that we know and the evidence that has been brought forward, he's clearly, somewhat of a loose cannon and a danger to society. I'm one of the people, I'm guilty on that one. I'm one of the people that said that because he did, give off that energy that he might indeed, go after the witnesses and anybody that has been involved with this case against him. So I still stand on that based on what we know. But hey, this is Dr. Umar giving his thoughts, so I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's keep going.
He still gets his prison visits, Art. He still gets his prison. What did the mafia do? What does any criminal enterprise do? They arrange for the payoffs during their prison visits. They don't have to be free. So this ain't got nothing to do with him coercing witnesses because he has enough people in his network that can happen anyway. The reason Puff isn't being given bail is they want to humiliate, humble, and disgrace him. And I'm going to tell you something. The one thing he should have done, and I don't condone any of the acts he's alleged of. I want to be very clear, especially sex trafficking, if he's guilty. And to that point, Art, why haven't we been privy to any evidence? Now, they're claiming the reason you haven't seen any evidence is because the trial hasn't started, right?
We're not mincing our words when we say you can never have too much Parmalat cheese, because
But didn't we get evidence of R. Kelly's misdealings before the trial started? Didn't we get evidence of Bill Cosby's misdealings before the trial started? Didn't we get evidence of Michael Jackson's alleged misdealings before the trial started? So how are they going to tell us that you're not getting no evidence because the trial hasn't started That hasn't been the way y'all traditionally do business. Normally, when y'all have dirt on black men, everybody gets it as soon as you get it. But because of Sean Combs, we're not giving the public any evidence until the trial starts.
I'm trying to remember if, with the said cases of these individuals he mentioned, if they did indeed expose the evidence before their trials. I can't recall. It was somewhat almost the same as Diddy though, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, R. Kelly, for instance, a lot of stuff we didn't get to see a lot of stuff. We didn't get to see a lot of evidence before his trial started. So I'm not sure, man. I can't remember well. I just remember him doing interviews, and then there was that donkey of him, the whole surviving R. Kelly thing, which, you know, is not entirely like hardcore proof or evidence for that matter, because those were just people, you know, saying they are, you know, just talking about their experiences with R. Kelly. So hey, I don't remember that happening. Maybe you guys do, and you can correct me in the comments. But I honestly don't remember us just being privy to like proper evidence against these individuals, whether it be Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, so on and so forth.
To be honest with you, Art, I'm not sure they have much evidence. Remember, this is not really about the commission of a crime.
And also that part of them possibly not having evidence, I even had to think about it a bit, because I was looking at their, you know, a plea, like when he pleaded not guilty, you know, and it has been announced that the authorities have like hardcore evidence against him, supposedly that they got from his home. I mean, if you know you left some shady stuff in your house and that could possibly be in their possession, I don't think pleading not guilty is a safe bet. So that alone kind of got me thinking that maybe they went that route because they know the feds really don't have anything on them or him, you know. So that got me thinking a bit. I ain't gonna cap, that got me thinking a bit. I was like, maybe they really don't have anything, because we keep seeing the same old video clip of Cassie, you know, and whatnot, but we haven't seen anything besides that. And if we remember well, at this point I don't even think Cassie is still part of this whole case, because her case came prior to this whole RICO thing, and it was settled out of court, of course. So that's one closed chapter. So I don't know why we keep seeing the video over and over when there has been other allegations brought against him, you know. So I don't know, just something to think about there, fam. Just something to think about.
Puffy did, although I do not and never will condone it, what Puffy did is everyday behavior in the music industry. It's everyday behavior in Hollywood. So we clearly know it's not about what he did, because this is what they do. This is about an Illuminati takedown by Diego because you disrespected the global white power structure. And not only the global white power structure, the British Anglo-Saxon white power structure, and you have to be made to pay for that.
Sheesh.
The suicide watch. Is he already potentially suicidal? It's possible, Art, but I'm going to say not yet because he has children. And one thing I can say about Sean Combs, and I'm no defender of anyone who is guilty of those crimes he's being charged with, but has not yet been proven. One thing I can say about Sean Combs, from what I've seen, I don't know him. He loves his children. From what I see, he loves his children. And for that reason, I do not see him committing suicide because of the love he has for his children. Although they're all young adults, they're still babies. And I don't think Puff wants to leave his children in this world.
I don't know, man. There's layers to that. There's layers to loving your children. There's layers to loving someone. I mean, acting crazy outside of your home and with other people can also, work against your supposed love to your children in this context. So, did you even think of your children when we were doing all these alleged crimes? You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. I don't know. There's layers to love, honestly. Like, there's layers to that. You're not gonna say, I love my children, and then step outside and go beat up another man's child. You're not gonna do that if you love your children. Because love is almost like looking yourself in the mirror. It's almost like looking at yourself in the mirror. In a way that what you do to other people, you kinda have to think of how it would be if it was done unto you, or your children for that matter. So I don't know, man. If that's love, then I don't know. It still needs a lot of work, honestly, because you can't love and be selfish, because his actions or alleged actions or crimes suggest that he's selfish, because if he really loved his children, he wouldn't even be participating in half of the things that he has been, accused of in the first place, if he really loved his children. So I'm a bit against that one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a bit against that one.
World with the type of enemies that he has. I mean, look what happened, rest in peace, to Whitney Houston and her daughter. You understand me? So without Puff around, who knows what people will try to do to get at whatever little is left of his empire after he's convicted, if he's convicted. I don't think he wants to leave his children in this world defenseless like that with the kind of enemies he got, black and white. I don't.
That I agree. Knowing the kind of enemies that you have made along your way to success, you definitely don't want to leave your loved ones in a vulnerable state like that. That I agree.
Think he want to do that. Now, I can see the power structure falsely claiming that he's on suicide watch if, God forbid, they try to take him out of here. I could definitely see them using the media. Look what they did with Jeffrey Epstein. They said he committed suicide. Jeffrey Epstein did not commit suicide. Jeffrey Epstein was murdered because he said, I'm not going down by myself. Does that sound like somebody who about to kill themselves? Or does that sound like somebody who's about to get revenge?
Revenge.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. I'm concerned for the brother's safety more than I am worried about a potential suicide. And let me tell you the mistake Puff made that Jay-Z did not make. And I am not accusing Jay-Z of anything. I want to be clear. But let's say hypothetically,
okay,
if Sean Carter had any skeletons in his closet, one of the most effective things he did to clean up them skeletons and seal off those skeletons, Art, he got married and created a family. One thing you see Caucasian men do, Art, they might be cross-dressers, they might be homosexuals, they might be pedophiles, they might be murderers. What do all white males in the public eye do to make sure they're protecting their image legally and publicly? They get a wife and they have children. They build family. Look at them. Every last one of them build a wife. They might marry a prostitute, but they are going to have a wife and they are going to have children because it protects their public image from the types of accusations that Sean Combs has. Look at T.I. and Tiny. And I'm not accusing my brother Tip or my sister Tiny of anything. But as you know, they've been accused of things that they were innocent of, and shout out to them. They were cleared of that nonsense. People walked away from it. Charges were dropped. However it happened, T.I. and Tiny is still together and they still free. And I'm happy for both of them because they're one of our strongest young black couples. But when that whole ordeal was being pushed on T.I. and Tiny about how they were doing this and that in the privacy of their own bedroom, which is none of our business, you know what really helped them? The fact that they were married, they were united, they had a family, and they had children. You cannot underestimate the power of perception when it comes to you being accused of sexual crimes, whether you're innocent or guilty. That is the one thing Sean Combs should have learned. It's a lesson he should have learned, and he learned it too late. Get married, build family. And I'm not saying Sean Carter only married Beyonce for that. I'm not saying, I believe he loved his sister. T.I. and Tiny been together since the beginning. So we know that wasn't a Hollywood marriage. That's real black love right there. I'm simply saying, if you're going to be out here doing the things that Puffy does, get your ass a wife and build a family. He had the children, Art, but he didn't have the wife. And that is what hurt him. Now, he was married to Kim Porter, I think, right? Or what have you. But after she transitioned, rest in peace to her, he should have gotten him another wife. If you're going to be out here wilding like this, bro, get your ass a wife so at least your public image is protected. Sean Combs had a public image of being a freak, and that did not help him in this situation.
Yeah. That's powerful right there. That is powerful coming from Dr. Umar. Yeah, definitely. A family, building your own family will definitely protect you. It will definitely protect your public image. It will definitely protect you from a lot of things, especially if you and your partner are united. That will definitely help you in a long way. I do agree on that point. I definitely do. Jay-Z really knew how to get out of the party and move away from people that could potentially taint his public image, cause you never see Jay-Z around a lot of men or guys or supposedly street guys and whatnot. He's just with his family, his business associates. He's moving real clean and, subtle, as opposed to Puff, who's loud and out there and always partying, and so he was struggling to really let the party die, and unfortunately, we are witnessing the results of that, unfortunately, in a very unsatisfying way. But also, just like R. Kelly, Puffy, there has been rumors around him for the longest of time. I don't remember, Puffy not being accused of at least half the things that he's being accused of today. That hasn't been mentioned years and years ago. Like, just like R. Kelly, basically. Like, this is something that has been following him for the longest of time. And not knowing with Bill Cosby, because I could be wrong, but I don't remember Bill Cosby always being, You know, I don't remember, you know, like for the slightest reading or seeing any reports on Bill Cosby suggesting that he's on some, you know, freaky time like he was accused of also. Like, so for these two individuals, R. Kelly and Diddy, it's kind of hard to even defend them, you know, as Dr. Umar is trying to come on that angle of, you know, black power, my black brother and whatnot and whatnot. It's also somewhat conflicting to even take that, you know, angle, because where do you even begin when there's been a trail of all these things that he has been accused of today? Like, you know, so whether whether the people accusing him of this are also not an innocent bunch, that's a debate for another day. Whether they are part of that, whatever they're accusing him of, that's a debate for another day. But for the fact that this black brother has also been participating in all these awful things, that has proven to be, you know, killing our black communities and our black sisters, our black brothers, then he's guilty. And we cannot even come out here and start talking about black this and whatnot and whatnot and whatnot. But however, I do get some of the points that Dr. Umar, you know, is highlighting and his thoughts and where he stands with this, as he has repeatedly said that he's not defending the crimes that he has been accused of, but rather how all this thing is playing out and whatnot and whatnot. So, hey, but of course, it's Dr. Umar. He knows how to articulate himself well, and I think this was a W take coming from him. So yeah, this is all I have to say about this, man. Thank you guys for watching it with me. If you have something that you want to share about what has been said on this episode of The Art of Dialogue, please do leave a comment, share your thoughts with me, you know, correct me where you feel like I went a bit out of pocket. I'll make sure I'll get back to all of you guys, whether. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I love y'all. See you on the next one. Love and peace.